Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Inaam, and I am really excited to start this self-development journey with you guys online. I've been seeing people do it online for longer than I can remember. Now, in our first video, I wanted to go over some key components of self-improvement that, when trained, really helped me avoid the toxic culture and the bad media. Starting off with a quote, your mind is a vessel. So just like your body, you are what you eat. I used to be a mindless scroller over social media, but even at that time, I had this thought stuck with me from years back that was the mind becomes what it consumes. And even though I kept on scrolling, I was actually looking at it from a perspective of learning how I can set up a system of my own, and here we are. So enough with the brand. We'll go over the components today, and I have an announcement at the end of the video. Shout out to Dan Coe. If you don't know who he is, you should follow him, check him out. I'll have a link in the description. First off, let's define what we actually mean by self-improvement. So, at its core, what we're talking about is actively working on becoming the best version of yourself. Yeah, I know. Pretty boring, right? I could have looked this up myself. I know it sounds obvious, but remember, the mind is what it consumes. And what we're specifically talking about here is avoiding the bad media. Now, if you've ever tried to recover old hard drives, you'll know it contains bad sectors in it when you're trying to recover them, which can be a real pain. What we're talking about here is exactly the same. You can keep trying to develop your skills, acquire knowledge, and the abilities in order to grow as an individual, but you can't completely be mindful about it while you still have bad sectors in your mind. Well, you sort of can, but it will restrict you from reaching your full potential. And I've been a victim of this myself until I started to identify the patterns, and it was evident that I had to clean my room, as Jordan Peterson likes to advise. So that's one where you just need to be conscious about what you consume. Let's move on. After making sure you're conscious about the decisions you're making, you'll have to be mindful. By being present in the moment and paying attention to your thoughts and emotions, you can become more self-aware and be better able to control your reactions to the world around you. Now, this can help us to avoid getting caught up in the toxic culture and the negative media. Like I said, I've been there myself. I know how frustrating it can get when you're being the outlier. Everyone is doing the same thing, and it makes sense that they are going to get the same result. If I want to get a different output, I'll need a different input. It's as simple as that. I remember when I started out on this journey almost 2 years back, I used to hate myself for not doing the things that I had been doing for years back. My mind was trained to, have that hanging out with friends, staying up late, partying over the weekends, all of that stuff. But in those times, the only thing that kept me going was being mindful about my journey and accepting that I didn't want my life like that. Change is always hard. When you try to change, your mind is going to want to go back to complacency, take the easy way out, you know, that you've been doing previously. It knows that it's not going to help you in the long run, but it's easy now. So it'll want to do that. There's a really good explanation of tricking your mind into doing the hard things easily. We'll talk about it in our upcoming videos. We'll have dedicated sections for specific principles. I'll wrap this up with the two final components that also tie together, that are goals and mindset. By setting specific and achievable goals for ourselves, you can stay motivated and focused on your journey of personal growth. It's important to remember that progress, not perfection, is the goal. And I've been thinking about making this video for years now, and I'm glad that I made it. The problem was that I wasn't giving myself a deadline. I was so focused on getting things right that I didn't actually start making any progress. And instead, I kept getting cheap dopamine hits to satisfy my progress. As soon as I learned something, I was satisfied. Okay, now I've made some progress. No, that's not progress. That's fooling yourself into thinking that you're making progress. But actually, your mind is just taking an easy way out. What would actual progress look like? Recording and uploading an unlisted video, even though no one is going to see it, but at least I took the effort in making the video. It actually improved me. I sat down, recorded myself, and uploaded it. Now this ties back with the mindset, and I'm not talking about just the regular mindset. What we're talking about here is the growth mindset. This means seeing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as threats or failures, right? So by adopting this growth mindset, you can approach life with a positive and proactive attitude, even when things get tough. You'll be able to see it as an opportunity to surface it. That's how life is. I've seen this firsthand myself. When I started out, I was never consistent. I used to skip my workouts, had a lot of cheat days in my week, and like I procrastinated on this video, I procrastinated on my tasks to stop me from making actual progress on my journey. I wasn't making an effort in moving forward, and in return, life was taking me back. That's how it works. It's called entropy, order to disorder. If you keep working on it and see chaos or disorder as a necessary part of life, you'll see that this mindset will set you up for long-term success. To summarize the key components, improving yours and others' lives by being mindful about it. Second, setting hyper-realistic goals that keep you motivated, right? Cultivating a growth mindset. That's all. Thank you for sticking around until the end of this video. I hope you really got something out of it. If it did, please give it a thumbs up for the algorithm. It'll help that. The announcement that I wanted to make was I was actually waiting for a shipment, but it got delayed because of the holidays, and so we'll just have to wait on that. I wanted to share that journey with you of learning and building alongside everyone, so let's just wait for that.